So today we're going to be discussing the Great Salt Lake and a couple things you need to know about this lake that sits just to the northwest of Salt Lake City. We're getting after it right now. So you're probably wondering, what significance does this lake actually have on the area and Salt Lake City specifically? Because it is actually, the city is named after this lake, so it must be a pretty big part of it, right? Well, actually, it's really not. It's kind of just out there. There's not a lot to do except for just sightseeing. I want to tell you a little bit about where this lake came from. It is actually a remnant of an old Ice Age lake that was called Lake Bonneville that used to sit right here where Utah is located, and over the years it shrunk down and is now just the Great Salt Lake. Now, the reason why it's called the Great Salt Lake is because it's very high in saline content, and because there's no outlet for this lake itself, this salt cannot escape from the area. So all of the streams are emptying into the Great Salt Lake, but there's no outlet for it, and so the water that's there evaporates, from the sun, and the salt is left over. So it is very high in saline. You can go and float on this lake, and it's like basically impossible to drown in the lake because the salt content is so high in the lake. One other cool fact about it is that it's the largest natural lake west of the Mississippi River. Because the salt content is actually so high in the lake, there's actually not any fish in the lake itself. So there's not really much activity going on there. There's some algae, there's brine shrimp that actually live in the lake, and the shoreline actually fluctuates quite a bit because it's actually very shallow, and so the shoreline can fluctuate. If we get a big storm, it will actually fluctuate. The shoreline will expand as it goes up because just a little bit of water makes a big difference. So there's a lot of birds in the area who feed off of the different flies and brine shrimp in the area, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of wildlife out there. But you really get the amazing views of the entire Salt Lake Valley, the Wasatch Mountains, the lake itself. It's just absolutely gorgeous views all the way around when you're out there. So what significance does this lake actually have on the city itself? Well, honestly, not that much. It gives the city its name, but beyond that, there's not really much going on out there. They do actually have a farm for the brine shrimp that they use, but with the exception of that, there's not really a whole lot going on out there. They haven't been able to develop any of the land along the shoreline just because that shoreline does fluctuate. So there's not a lot happening out there. To be honest with you, I haven't even been out there in probably 10 or more years. So the Great Salt Lake, even though it covers a vast amount of land, really doesn't have too much going for it as far as its significance on the residents here in the state, at least in my opinion. So guys, this was just a quick breakdown of what the Great Salt Lake is, what you need to know about it, and the fact is, you don't really need to know much about it if you're making a move here to Salt Lake City. If you are making that move here though, make sure to get in touch with me. That is going to be the significance you need to make that a smooth transition from wherever you're at now to getting here in Salt Lake City, Ogden, Provo, Park City, any of the surrounding areas. So make sure to reach out to me. My information is here on the screen. I love hearing from you guys when you do reach out, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up here on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll catch you in the next one.